When we design a Christmas tree, most people imagine adding ornaments, lights, and a star on top, because we grow up recognizing that a decorated tree is what makes it Christmas. But almost nobody thinks about designing a tree by subtracting, by cutting the branches into shapes, or letting the pure form of the tree itself be the design. And in Japan, one of the most powerful examples of this subtractive philosophy is the Kamon, the Japanese family crest. Kamon first appeared in the Heian period, around 1,000 years ago. Back then, aristocrats traveled to the imperial court in ox-drawn carriages. From the outside, all the carriages looked the same. So families started painting patterns on them. Plants, flowers, natural motifs. It was a way to say, "This is ours." Over time, these patterns moved from carriages to clothing, furnitures, and eventually became official family crests. A practical marker slowly evolved into identity. The way Kamon spread through aristocrats and warriors is fascinating because the needs were so different. For aristocrats, Kamon became a sign of refinement. Each family wanted something that felt exclusive. Motifs of seasonal flowers, delicate patterns, symbols that showed cultural sophistication. For warriors, Kamon were tools on the battlefield. In the chaos of fighting, they needed symbols that could be recognized instantly from far away. Strong shapes, high contrast, nothing unnecessary. Same tradition, but shaped by two opposite needs, elegance and recognition. If you compare Kamon with European heraldry, the difference is striking. European coats of arms were about stacking meaning. Lions for courage, eagles for power, dragons for fearlessness, shields, crowns, mottos written in Latin. Authority often expressed through excess. Japanese Kamon went the other direction. Instead of adding more, they asked, what's the minimum needed to carry meaning? A chrysanthemum is reduced to 16 petals. A hollyhock is drawn with no shading, no texture, just a few lines inside a circle. What's interesting is that while Europe largely left heraldry behind, Japan kept Kamon alive. Even now you see them on shrines, temples, kimono, funeral banners. Why? Partly because Japan's sense of lineage and continuity values symbols that last unchanged, and partly because the design itself is timeless. It's abstract enough to feel modern, but symbolic enough to carry identity. To give you an example, let me show you my own family crest. Ru ni broki sauda, maru ni duki omodaka. It shows a plant called oshika, or arrowhead, enclosed in a circle. This plant grows in water, and because the arrow-shaped leaves point upwards, it came to symbolize progress, victory, and resilience. What fascinates me is how simple the form is. Just a few sharp leaves, arranged symmetrically. It's the kind of design you only need to see once to remember forever. That's the power of Kamon. Minimal forms that still carry deep, specific meaning. But let's be clear. Subtraction isn't the same as plainness. A lot of modern logos went minimal in recent years. They stripped away colors, gradients, unique shapes, until many brands started to look identical. Black and white text, nothing special. That's not subtraction. That's emptiness. Subtraction in design means reducing while keeping essence. The design is minimal, but not hollow. That's why a Kamon can survive 1,000 years unchanged and still feel powerful. So what does Kamon teach us about design? That the most powerful designs are not the ones that add endlessly, but the ones that know how to subtract with precision. That a symbol can be stripped to its bones and still communicate identity, culture, and memory. And that simplicity isn't the absence of design, it's design at its highest form. Kamon aren't just relics of the past. They're living proof of how subtraction can reveal essence. They show that design reaches its peak not when there's nothing more to add, but when you can't remove anything without losing its soul. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If you had to design your own crest, your own Kamon, what would you subtract until only the essence of you remained?